Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been sitting here trying to record a reading for a little while now, probably like 5 different times. And I get to a point, there's a lot of flow that's going, and I'm just allowing myself to be me, and I'm just allowing myself to speak, and at some point, it just stops. And it's just like my sensitive 17-year-old kicks in and says, "You lost your train of thought. This is not acceptable. This is not going to be accepted. I've built my life around you. I have my music on right now and Landslide is on. Time makes you bolder. Children get older. And I'm getting older too. It feels like this. It's the energy that's present right now is that of our teenager, our 17-year-old, our 18-year-old. And it's being shown to us right now in order to take a step forward to 111 on my recording. To take a step forward, we're getting ready to pass into this next phase of our lives. And shit's really going to change. There's some really massive stuff that is going to change. And this time period, right now, this now, is so important to connect with who you are. Our 17-year-old had a hard time. And the reason I know it's 17 is because before this, the Stevie Nicks song that came on was The Edge of 17. Our 17-year-old, 18-year-old had a really hard time thinking for ourselves or being allowed to think for ourselves, make decisions for ourselves, think according to the way that we sense the world around us, the way that we do things. It was always about what other people thought or the way other people thought we should do things. Or it feels like we've compiled this list of this whole belief system around who we are, around the way that other people believed they were or believed they thought we should be. So there's a really important part of our belief system about who we are that is being released right now because it's not who you think you are, it's who somebody else thinks you are. And you've taken it on as if you believe yourself to be that way. Because that person means a lot to you or meant a lot to you. If we're talking about 17, 18 years old, for a lot of you, it's your parents. For some of you, it's like your first love, your friends. The way that they looked at you and thought about you was really important to you because there is this real desire, this real sense of this need for belonging. And there were so many times where we would shift and adapt ourselves to the environment that was around us in order to fit into that environment. And it did not always jibe with who we really were deep inside. And so we would sacrifice a part of ourselves, the expression of part of ourselves, in order to fit in. And so it feels to me like there's a belief system that you adapted when you were right around that age. It could be 16, 17, 18, 19, whatever you resonate with. But it's right around those very impressionable years, right when you're getting ready to go out into the world, when you're getting ready to move out on your own or go to college or, be a grown-up. There's an impression that was placed on you or the way other people looked at you, that you took out into the world that was not true about you, about who you really were. But you presented that to people as if it was your own. And for some of you, it was successful in you being accepted in a job or in a workforce somewhere, or in this group of people, or at this college, or whatever it was. And it was the way that we were told we needed to present ourselves in order to function in society and blah, 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 blah. But it's a very important part of you that is not true to you. There's something about you that you've lost. You have lost yourself in other people's opinions, other people's view of you, other people's disappointment of you, other people's way of looking at you or judging you. And I know this because I've been going through it lately too, trying to find the piece of myself that I lost right around that age, I guess, that cares way too much about other people's approval. That I sacrifice who I am and what I really want in life and what I feel more than anything else. It's like I'm abandoning my feelings and the way that I sense things and what my intuition is telling me about me or what I need from my life or where I need to go with it. I sacrifice that part of myself in order to please other people or to have them approve of me. And knowing that I just function in a different way. I just think about things differently. I think about things in a different way. And this environment just doesn't suit me. I do not want to go to college. I don't feel it. I don't feel connected to it. For some reason, I just can't do it. And I felt like I was forced to anyway. I made a decision to go, even though I knew it wasn't best for me. But what were the other options? Were there other options presented to me at the time? Not really. It's just like, this is what everybody does. Everybody goes to college right after high school, and that's what we do. And so put in your applications and blah, blah, blah. So whatever that is for you, the reason I know this is because it's so funny the way that energy presents itself to me sometimes, when I'm tuning into giving a message, when I'm tuning into the reading that I want to do for you guys, the way that I read energy comes through in many different ways. I read it through the cards that are here, and I'm going to talk to you about these cards too. But I also experience it through, it's like an experiential kind of reading where I'm walking around and what I'm doing or what I'm thinking or what I'm experiencing, what I'm feeling in my body is part of the message. And they're like, here, you go through it first. So then you know like what the energy is out here that you're experiencing. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not mine. I'm going through it. I mean, it is mine because I resonate with it. But I'm just meant to be the actor in the play and go through it so I can tell you guys about it, so I can resonate with what it is that we're supposed to talk about today. And some of it is about how people think that you look, not just the way your life looks or the way your work looks, but the way you physically look too, which when we're that age is pretty important. Pretty important to us, the way that we think other people think we look. I was sitting down trying to do these readings, and I had just gotten ready, and I did my hair and did my makeup, and I was just like, I look great, thank you. And as I'm looking in the mirror in my bathroom, and then I come in here and I sit down, and I was just like, oh god, no, oh my god, okay, I gotta do something here, and then I gotta do something here, because this mirror, this thing right here, looks a lot different than the mirror in my bathroom. I'm like, so I go back into the bathroom to make a shift. And I look in the mirror in the bathroom, I'm like, but I like it. But I like the way that curl is sitting. Like in this mirror, I think it looks really good. But then I sit down here and look in this mirror, I'm like, ugh. I'm like, what is going on? So then I go and I make another change. And then I was like, no, it's my sweater. I have to go change my sweater. So I had a different shirt on, so I went and changed my shirt. And I looked in the mirror upstairs and I was like, okay, yeah, I really like that. And I like it with this necklace and blah, blah, blah. And I was told to wear this necklace anyway, so I'm not changing that. I think it looks good. So I come back down here. I'm sitting in front of the camera. I'm just like, there's something wrong with it. I just can't stand. I don't like the way that it looks here. And it took me a couple of trips back and forth before I realized like what was going on. Before I really realized that I'm looking in a mirror here, and then I'm looking in a mirror here, and then I'm looking in the camera here, which is also a mirror. And it's an interesting mirror because on here, it's the reverse image. So what I see when I look in my mirror is different than what I see here. So it's like it's flipped. So I realized that essentially there is this part of us that we see, the way that we see ourselves when we look into our mirror, our own personal mirror, that deep down we really like about ourselves. I really like this thing about myself. I really like this. And then I come on here and I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I'm seeing things the way you guys would see things, the way someone else would see something. And I'm sensitive to the fact that someone else does not approve of the way that I am, or something about me, something that they don't like, or whatever it is. So the way that I look to other people, I'm very, very sensitive, apparently, to the way that I look to other people. And I know that I've talked about that before. We talk about vulnerability all of the time. And it is a very vulnerable situation to be in, sitting here in front of other people and just kind of, and I talk about my situation a lot. I talk about me a lot because the way that I get messages and the way that I piece them together is partly through the experience that I go through. And you guys do too. Sometimes you just don't even realize that what you have going on right now, 11:11 on my recording, what you have going on right now, what it is that you're processing through, or what you think about yourself, or what you're experiencing, is meant to either be healed or is a message to be passed on to other people or to be shared. There's some sort of resonance, there's some sort of vibration that is meant to connect with another's vibration for whatever reason. Whether you're meant to trigger them, or you're meant to help them, or you're meant to be friends with them, and when we are not true to who we are, the vibration of that I want to say inauthenticity. It's kind of not real about us. When I present something that is not real about me because I think someone else, that's what you need to hear, or whatever it is, if I were to do that. And those of you that know me know that I don't do that typically. That sometimes I have to tell you what you need to hear instead of what you want to hear. But it's not an easy place to be. That's a really hard thing to do because I'm sensitive to the way other people are going to react to that or see that or whatever it is. But something that I've been experiencing in my life recently is the realization of how much of what other people say and think and feel about me, how much of that experiences who I am right now and the way that I interact in the world and the way that I do things. So much of the way that I do some of the things that I do are based off of how that person is going to react to it, or how that person is going to approve or not approve of it. Sometimes we do things in order to gain approval from other people, and we abandon certain parts of ourselves in order to keep the status quo or be a people pleaser or whatever it is. And we lose ourselves. We lose pieces of ourselves. We lose some of the most beautiful things about us because it's not in alignment with someone else's vibration, or it triggers something in them that they are not ready to face, or whatever it is. But the point is that we take that on to ourselves as if that's our responsibility, and we need to adapt and adjust who we are to the way they think that we should be. So there's something, it feels like a belief system, a part of the belief system of who you believe yourself to be, that was rooted when you were 17, 18, right around that age. That is being looked at right now. And you're being asked to react in a different way, to make a decision right now. It's like that pattern has repeated itself and it's being presented to you. You're being offered the opportunity to be you anyway. To clear through all of the opinions of other people that were layered on top of you that cause you to not live the life that you want to live, because you may either lose them, or it may rock their boats, or they're going to be disappointed in you, or it's based off of their opinions and blah, 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 blah. I've had to really step back and look at myself, really look at myself, and look at myself in the mirror and say, who am I? Who am I? Who do I feel that I am? Who do I want to be? How do I want to express myself? How do I want to be in the world? What kind of work do I want to do? What kind of message do I want to deliver? Do I want to hold myself back? Do I want to tiptoe? Do I want to only present myself on here when I am able to have all the answers for you? Or do I make it impersonal in a way that is safe, feels safe to other people? Or do I just come on here and just be me? Do I wake up in the morning and just be me? Do I go out and say the things that I am feeling, or say the things or be the things that I want to be, regardless of what happens around me or how that is received? There have been so many times where I come on here and it's just like, I just want to be me. There's so many of us that just want to be us. And so today it feels like is an important day for radical self-acceptance. There's something in your heart that is being burned off in order to release the judgment that you have of yourself, that you have taken on as your responsibility. It's your responsibility to judge yourself because of the way other people look at you. Because if you don't, this is going to happen. And if you don't act a certain way, this is going to happen. Or if you don't do this, God is not going to love you. Or your dad's going to leave. Or your boyfriend's going to leave. Or your friends are going to talk about you. Or you're going to get all of this negative feedback. You are not going to be able to function in the world unless you do things this way, unless you conform to the way that society says that you are supposed to be. You're not going to be able to fit in with society, not realizing that half of those people that are walking around in society are conforming to society and abandoning themselves too, and are not happy being this conformed version of themselves. And you can feel that. You can sense that it's not real, but you believe the illusion because of the way that you were taught, the way that you were raised. Radical self-acceptance is right now the only way. Who are you? Who are you as a divine being? Who are you as a card reader? Who are you as a YouTube person? Are you like everybody else? Do I need to be listing 5 things that you need to be doing right now in order to gain all of the views that I need, and all of the approval and all the comments and all of the likes and all of that? I'm different than everybody else. I'm just different. There's this comparison that happens, and that's what it is from the age of 17, is this comparison energy. Go out there and be better than everybody else. In order to succeed, you need to have the best grades, or you need to have this kind of resume in order to be accepted for the position, because you are in competition against everybody else. And all I ever wanted was to just be a part of a community, a family, to help bring people together. Even if it's in a difficult situation, even if it means having the difficult talks, let's do it together, and let's support each other, and let's be a community. Let's stop competing with each other in order to stop competing with the world around us and function in a way that is the path of least resistance: oneness, connectedness, supportiveness. Really supporting and helping other people to grow helps you to grow at the same time. The only way you can do that is if you support yourself. If you don't compare yourself to others. If you accept who you are as you, regardless of how other people react to that, regardless of what other people think of that. Stop judging yourself and really accept who you are. There is something really important, a belief system. What is it that you believe about yourself that stops you from accepting yourself radically? What is it that you believe about yourself? That you need to compete with others, that you're never going to fit in, that you're different than everybody else, that's a problem, that's an issue, that's a disorder. I've been talking a lot about ADD lately, and right around 17, 18, I think is when it really got to be the worst for me, and I didn't know about it. Only just looking back on it, do I know that was when it really, really hit home, that I think differently than other people. I process things. I interact with the world differently. And, college was not suited for that way of thinking, or, I wasn't prepared because I didn't know how to process things on my own, and blah, blah, blah. It's looked at as a disorder. There are so many things. There are things. There's something about you that was looked at as a flaw. That right now is what you're needing to call forth in order to get all the things that you've been asking for. You have to embrace that side of yourself, that thing in you that everybody else or that other people look at as a disorder, or as something wrong with you, or as why are you that way? Something that they don't understand about you and who you are and how you function and how you process the world, how you communicate, how sensitive you are, how you experience things through your feelings. That was looked at as a flaw and something that you needed to not be. That thing right there, whatever that is for you, from when you were around that age, is what you need to tune into and notice the beauty of. Notice the superpower that it is, because it's something that's there. It's the essence of you. It's where your gifts reside. It's where your next job resides. It's where your career is going to flourish when you embrace that in yourself and you remove the belief system that says, don't be that way. Stop being so sensitive. Stop crying so much. Stop being you. Stop being all of those things. Just stop being them. There are tools to be able to understand how you process, to be able to ground the energy that's there that you don't understand. There are ways that we need and tools that we need in order to help maneuver our way in this world as that kind of person, but not in a way that says we need to change who we are to fit in out there and stop being this in order to start being that, because that's what's acceptable. Radical self-acceptance for the collective of us is what changes out there instead of having to change us to fit into there. The perception that that is the only way, that your way of doing things, your way of being a mom, your way of having a career, your way of developing a career, is the only way to do it. It's the only way to be successful. Whatever belief system you have right now about the measure of success is what's being altered. And there's something deep inside you that knows how you are best successful, knows how you are able to be you in a way that is your purpose. Your purpose is to be you, authentically you at all times, right? There's so much work that we have done up until this point that is coming to fruition. This portal time period from 10/10 to 11/11 to 12/12 and in through the new year and all through next year. This time period right now, this time of the year, the veil is very thin. There's a lot of guidance that we're getting from our ancestors and from our higher selves and from the old versions of us and from our future selves. When the veil is thin now, we're able to access our multidimensionality in a way that is very powerful. It's very saturated. And what they're showing me is future versions of you are coming forward to help remove patterns of the past and past versions of you that self-sabotaged, stopped you from doing the things that you wanted to do and being true to yourself. Because that's the most important way for you to do it, is to see this future version of yourself, to tune into the freedom and the energy and the higher vibration, the higher level of consciousness, the depth, the light of you, the future you. It's like you're getting a taste of that right now. And anything that's not that feels really off. And it feels really confusing. And it feels like, yeah, but I've always thought this, or my mom told me this, or those belief systems, anything that's in the way of you being you, is being moved out of the way right now. That's the preparations that are happening. I see the number 6 on here too. The 6 stands out. And also 26, these numbers together is 26. This self-acceptance, this saying, I don't give a fuck what you think. I can't. It's 1:11 right now. I can't give a fuck right now about what you think, because I just need to be me, and I need to go with what feels good. And sometimes this way of being feels good. And if you don't agree with that, or if you don't resonate with that, then we just don't resonate. And so I don't need to change that about myself. It's either something that is triggering in you because there's a part of you that's being held back, or I challenge you. Me being fully me challenges you to be fully you. And that challenges the thing inside of you that is scared of being vulnerable, or feels that being vulnerable is reckless or dangerous, or not going to help you fit in, whatever it is. That's something that you have to deal with. That's not my responsibility. I've done the work. I've done the work to get to this point, and whatever expression it is, whatever it is that I'm being in this moment, I've worked really hard to get to. And the belief that I'm here in this moment for a reason, that belief is really important to me. And so right now, I need to know me. If your opinion, or the opinion of others around you, to see the way the light's coming in from that window over there, the only thing that matters right now is that I feel good and that I shine my light. If my light is exposing shadows in you, and you want me to stop doing that, you want me to stop shining because the shadows are scary, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I'm not going to stop shining my light. I'm not. There are some times where other people, you may need to move out of the light because you're not ready for it, or whatever it is. That's your choice. That is 100% your right to choose that for yourself. But in the past, what a lot of us have done was to stop shining our light so bright. Because it would mean, because it's people pleasing, and it is feels like the only way for us to fit in. But that time is going away. And so the sensitivity to what other people think about us, or how they see us, or what they think of us, is being addressed right now. Okay, so there are examples of radical acceptance, radical self-acceptance happening all around you. And you just need to notice those. Allow yourself to be inspired by those. Set your fucking heart on fire. That's what I just heard. Set your heart on fire and let all the ways that you have been hard on you just burn away. Just let them burn away. Just love it all. Love your flaws. Love those things that you've always seen as a disorder. Love that side of you and see the light in it. Let the light shine on it. Let the light shine on it and show you how much of a gift that thing is that others said was wrong about you. Let it shine and let it show you how it's part of your purpose now. Okay? Stop dragging my heart around. That's the song that's on right now. Stop dragging my heart around. Stop letting those old belief systems stop you from loving you. Okay? You guys need help with that? All my information is down in the box below. I love you guys.